2 years, that together we can revamp the activities of AIACHE as you, Kannada region, have set the stage. I am sure with all your support, we will rise to greater heights in the years to come. We vow to take higher education.
Recording in progress.
We vow to take higher learning to the unreached, to mold the character for the all-round development of the students, to instill a sense of nationalism and spiritualism, to provide students with opportunities to critically reflect on the social, economic, cultural, and moral and spiritual issues facing humanity, and to enable them contribute to global development through acquisition of specialized knowledge and skills. In all this process, IACHE stands as an impetus to make our goals realizable. Let us implement quality initiatives in our higher education institutions with the dedication, commitment, and cohesiveness of everybody. I am very proud to be part of Karnataka region with this regional coordinator, Reverend Dr. Coordinator and President of Karnataka region, Reverend Dr. Praveen Marthis, who has taken this initiative to bring together the Christian higher education institutions across the state with an aim to reach out to global community, with the theme of the conference being reimagining internationalization. It is a time to come together to collaborate and a network for facing the challenges of Christian higher education in the present context. It is a great initiative to make our presence felt not only through our words but through our actions in a global scenario. I am very happy that there are eminent principals, efficient faculty members attending this program who are agents of AIACHE's vision and mission. I am extremely grateful to the resource person of the day, Ms. Sameera Fernandes, Global Educationist and European Board Room Advisor, her global network, national awards, regional concerns, and local availability are great strength to all of us. And let us grab the opportunity and reimage internationalization. I thank you wholeheartedly for attending this program and wait to see many more such programs and action plans in the months to come. I congratulate the Karnataka region for pioneering this effort in uniting regions in a special way. Reverend Dr. Praveen, Principal St. Joseph's College, the governing body member of AIACHE. Let us inform one another, form many other, and transform our vision into a reality. Once again, I admire, acknowledge, and appreciate your creative, innovative, and resourceful measures. Hope this conference sets to revisit ourselves, reimage our activities, and regenerate our spirit. I thank you for inviting me today, and I feel greatly honored. On behalf of IACHE, President, Vice Presidents, governing body members, I wish you all fruitful deliberations. God bless you. Thank you.
the Karnataka region for IACHE, governing body member. And as we attended this recent initiative at Kanyakumari, the Triennial Conference, it was him who really inspired all of us educationists to start, and not start then, but start now. Father Principal, it is an honor to be with you today and also to be part of your team in taking this change forward. So let's give him a big round of applause. I would also like to address the Secretary of the Advisory Board, the Executive Board of IACHE, Father Xavier Vedam, who has also been a great inspiration. We also have with us Father Almeida, who is the convener. We have with us Janice Mary from Roshni Nilaya, and also Roshan Raj, the secretary. And it is so important that in today's day and age, we talk about internationalization, and that is where we have News Karnataka with Mr. Valerian Dalmeida, who joins us all the way from Abu Dhabi, where this is also going live to 60 countries around the globe. So to all the principals, vice chancellors who have tuned in, IQAC cells, directors and principals, and also the leadership team of different colleges, it's really great that in a time of the outbreak, you are still here, which actually reaffirms your seriousness to the cause that you have dedicated your entire lives towards. So once again, a big round of applause to all of you as well. I have only one message for you all, and that is, it's time for our country to awake. We are no more local. We move into globalization. We move into globalization. And that is where all of us, great minds out here, educationists, need to work together to put forward this change and create global citizens, global ambassadors, global leaders around the world. No more can we rest on our laurels because the world is changing and education is at the forefront of this change. Today, it is time to prepare our students to enter the global scene, and we as educationists to help bridge that gap through partnerships, collaborations, cross borders, and remove all the outdated things that crossed our path throughout these years. Let's remove and stay far from what is obsolete anymore. And it is up to us now to set new standards in the world. And what do we need for that? Just one thing: creative minds, creative thinking, a creative approach. My dear principals and heads of institutions, what is it that you can do in your institution with your students and your faculty and with your culture? How are you going to align to the motto, the vision, the mission? How are you going to redefine your purpose? Are you waiting for the different education boards to come up with guidelines? Or are we, as a very strong, proactive community, get together and put our thoughts in actions and talk about our challenges and weaknesses, and then also highlight the strengths we have and say, this is my strength, but this is how I will contribute, and this is how I will share. We need to go deep-rooted back into our purpose with education, not just for living, education for life. Gone are the days when we talk about education for living. The jobs that we prepared ourselves for, the jobs that we prepared our students for, are no more existent today. They're sitting at home. It is the hybrid model. It is time we prepare our students, our faculty, our administration, we being the management, we prepare our communities towards education for life. I would like to end by just sharing my thoughts that they say life begets life. But I feel it is, it is up to us thinkers to produce thinkers. Only when we educationists think out of the box, only when we educationists stand up or take lead and say, I will help reimagine education. I will help reimagine internationalization. I spoke to Reverend Father Dr. Praveen Martis, and he said, Sameera, I want to go all out and sign more MOUs looking at global partnerships. That is a visionary leader we have here with us. And that is what I see as the Karnataka region leads forward in education. To produce thinkers, we need to first think out of the box and then inspire others to be thinkers. Let us put all our inhibitions aside. Let us put all our previous unfound beliefs aside. And let us, however, take time to delve in partnerships, a time for collaborations, a time for joining hands, a time for sharing, a time for being with each other through all our challenges so that we can all succeed together. Let our nation awake. Let our nation arise. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Spearhead Media Group mentor and advisor, CA Valerian de Almeida, will join us back virtually in a short while and address us. I now call upon the president of today's program, Reverend Dr. Praveen Martis, SJ, to deliver the presidential remarks.
Respected Ms. Sameera Fernandes, the Director, EcoSoul Global, Dr. Father Xavier Vedam, the General Secretary of AIACHE, Mr. Valerian Dalmeida, our media partner, Ms. Janice Mary, the Vice President of AIACHE Karnataka region, Mr. Roshan Raj, the Secretary Treasurer, Father Francis Almeida, the convener, Dr. Arvind Desa, the Registrar, Mr. Sonal Lobo, the IQAC Coordinator, my dear Vice Chancellors, Principals, and my dear friends from all over for joining us this morning to this important conference on reimagining internationalization. I'm part of this and I'm grateful to God to a few people that it happened. I'm in administration from last 8 years. St. Joseph's, Bangalore for a few years, and in St. Aloysius almost 5 years now. I was ashamed I never joined this IACHE. I did not even know. I've been getting so many mails after mails. And this is the first time Father Francis Almeida told me when I met him in Bhubaneswar, shall we all go together? I didn't know what is that for. And then Father Xavier Vedam is a good friend of mine. The General Secretary was also there in Bhubaneswar, said all Jesuits must join this conference and you'll understand better. So I said, okay, the Kanyakumari is a beautiful place. I'd been there when I was doing my PU studies long ago, about 30 years ago. I said I can revisit that place and have some fun and come back. But that didn't happen. So when we met there, I was really inspired the way it was going on. It is the only ecumenical forum that we have for higher education, Christian higher education in India. And the talks were really inspiring. The way it was conducted, I'm grateful to Father Xavier Vedam and the team. The way it was conducted was excellent. We had very good talks, excellent talks by very good speakers. And it was a churning experience being there for 3 days. Instead of fun, we wanted to see the sunset, sunrise, nothing happened. We could hardly see anything. But then we could see something happening there in the conference. That is where we met this great lady, Ms. Sameera Fernandes. She was the one who spoke to us and turned all of us and said, we must do something. we're all sleeping in a way. Like, and I was wondering for 8 years in administration, never been to a single meeting. And then happened to be there. I said, we must do something. It is too late. And the speakers were telling us, like, what is our contribution to Christian education? It's great, great indeed. But what is happening now? We had one speaker, Father Jagat Kasper, and then Dr. Mohan, Isaac Mohan, is a lawyer, well-known lawyer. He said, nothing comes to you on the platter. Even when we got this minority rights, we had to fight for it. And the Jesuits and all the priests have fought for it. And that's why we are enjoying today the fruit of it. He said, what are you doing in present generation? I was wondering, last 5 years, I'm the principal, hardly connected to any of these principals in Mangalore. I was in my small place and doing little work and trying to engage myself, but then lost. But as I said, we are talking about networking and collaboration. What are we doing? And that is where I think the awakening happened in Kanyakumari. I'm grateful to that conference there and meeting all of you. I said, when nobody was taking any leadership, I said, God is calling us. Somebody has to take it forward. Is that all? Why me? Then was the question. I said, okay, when all of us are together, like Father Xavier Vedam and the whole team is spending so much of time and energy doing such a great work, why don't shoulder a little responsibility and be with them? And I requested all the principals here, I called them up, and all of you responded so beautifully. I'm grateful to all of you. This morning I was celebrating Mass, and then Jesus calling the disciples was the theme. And then there was a little anecdote I remember. A child was attending this catechism classes, and they were talking about disciples of Christ. And mother asked her when she came back, what did they all teach you today? He said, they taught us something about, she forgot. She couldn't get the word disciples of Christ, it's samples of Christ. And then I remember, let's see, we are all samples, we cannot be there to be disciples. And the very word desire, that means to learn. And there is so much to learn and so many ways to learn. And they say, like, in UN, there are 5 pillars of learning. First of all, learn to know, learn to do, learn to be. That is very important, as you said. Learn to live together and learn to transform oneself and the society. I think the most important goal that we have. If we don't fight for it, our future generation will already say that those people, they didn't do anything for us. We may lose our minority rights, we may lose everything. The present context is quite difficult. There's something like NEP is coming up, the NAC criteria have changed, and things are oblique. And this anti-conversion bill that is coming up, what are we doing? We need to put our minds together. So when we come together, all of us have challenges. As Sameera beautifully said, is networking, collaboration, not one-man upship. All of us are together. But more than that, sharing and being together itself, I think we will reduce our burden. When you know that 10 people are together, our burden gets reduced, that so many of us are together in this game, in this present context and the challenges, we can easily solve them. Otherwise, we'll be single-minded and single ones trying to handle this. That will be too much for us. That's where I said we'll all come together. There's a little effort from our side. I'm grateful to the General Secretary and the President of AIACHE, Dr. Devamani. He couldn't be there. He said he'll be there. Last minute he had to cancel, and that's why Father Xavier Vedam is here. I'm grateful to both of them. Let's give them a round of applause for their love for us and the responsibility that they've taken up. I would like to also thank the Karnataka region persons here who have taken leadership. Ms. Janice Mary and Roshan, they are very enthusiastic. So we have just started with Karnataka region now, Mangaluru region. We will be moving from here to Mysore region. Our team will go there and also go to Bangalore region, and we'll go to North Karnataka region. So first idea is to increase the number of colleges who can be part of this AIACHE. Altogether, about only 35 colleges only are part of Karnataka region. There are almost about 100 colleges are there, run by Christians and the Catholics. So our idea is to bring the others together and how to take them together, and let's all work together for this ambitious project of facing the challenges at this very important times. So once again, grateful to all of you for being with us. Let's enjoy. Let's have this business session after our tea break. We'll have a tea break after this. Others have come in. And Sameera, I'm sure, she will again churn us with reimagining internationalization. After that, we'll have a little business session to know and to see what we can do together in this region and take it forward all together. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Father. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. I now request the IQAC coordinator, Mr. Sonal Lobo, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning to all. It is indeed a galaxy of intellectuals and academics who have assembled here physically and virtually for deliberating on collaborative and networking platforms or promoting effective higher education norms in the context of implementation of NAP 2020. On behalf of management and organizers, I deem it my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on the occasion. Firstly, we thank Almighty God for bringing us all of us together to brainstorm the concerns relating to the higher studies, the higher education. We wish to place on record the valuable contribution of our chief guest, Ms. Sameera Fernandes, for enlightening us with understanding of the core of internationalization of higher education and uplifting the educational norms to the global context. I now request our principal to give a token of our love and gratitude to our chief guest, Ms. Sameera Fernandes. Thank you. We wish to effusively thank Reverend Dr. Xavier Vedam S.J. and CA Valerio T. Almeida for being with us and for imparting vital concerns relating to higher education. Thank you, sir. Let's add a special recognition to Sister Janice Mary and Mr. Roshan Raj for gracing this occasion. Thank you, sir. We express our sincere gratitude to Reverend Dr. Praveen Marcus S.J., our beloved principal, for creating this opportunity and extending his wholehearted support and delivering his most appropriate presidential remarks. Thank you, Father. We acknowledge the contribution of our registrar, Dr. Alvin Desa, for delivering the warm welcome address. Thank you, sir. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of all the principals and the directors here. Thank you. We wish to place on record Father Felix and team for leading us into prayer, Mr. Royal Dissos and team for providing technical assistance, maintenance assistance offered by Mr. Gordon Kirill and team, Dr. Rachel Mary for being gracefully comparing the program and being the convener of the program. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you all.
We have now come to the end of the formal program. Let us take a short 15-minute tea break and then resume back. seasoned industry institute professional with more than 20 years of experience in diverse sectors such as manufacturing, retail, food, construction, education, etc. across the globe. She completed her master's in corporate communication from Manipal Institute of Communication, Mahe. She is currently a research scholar in the field of global leadership competencies. Apart from being a certified change management practitioner and strategic communications professional UK, she is also the director of EcoSol Global. Presently, she is on the managing committee of the Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce and part of the leadership pillar of the Confederation of Indian Industries, Indian Women Network. She is also a European boardroom advisor and a member of the advisory board News Karnataka. She is a recipient of many awards: Nirbhaya Award 2018, Chanakya Award 2021, Women of Influence Award, and Ethical Journalism Award. She has authored 2 books, Educating the Next and The Price of Truth, released by the Honorable Education Minister, Government of Karnataka. We are delighted to have such a vibrant personality with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And again, it's a beautiful occasion to be here as we educationists work together towards something that I'm very closely passionate about. And that is this book. It's called Educating the Next. Can we all say that together? Educating the Next. And I think this is our motto as a collective system of driving positive change. I've been in the corporate field for about 20 years now in multinationals such as Sun Micro, Jet Airways, and Nokia and many other companies. I happened to chance upon the education sector, and I was the director of a college for 2 years. I stepped down recently. And in those 2 years, I learned a multitude of different perspectives. And being from the field of the corporate world, I could actually understand both sides of the equation. And where you all educationists kept on saying, oh, this is a challenge. Internships, I don't know anyone. And placements, oh, how do we connect? And I think that is where I felt it only makes sense for us at the corporate world to come together and join hands with you all educationists so that we all work together as educators. Because it is not just our passion, it is our children. And we are responsible for who? Not them. We are responsible for ourselves first. We all have a purpose in life, right? And we need to fulfill our purpose selfishly. How can we leave this world without us fulfilling our purpose? And then comes the next. And that is why I'm here today to talk about us first. What is it that we can do? What is it that I can do? So let's move on. And I have a quick presentation. I hope you all have a paper and a pen, hopefully, to take down some notes. My request to you is the inputs that I have here are from Oxford, Harvard, and Cambridge. It's a short workshop, short presentation. I'm going to keep it short because we're going to look at interactive sessions while we conduct it. But please take down notes because you might have to move places as well as we speak. And take down points to see if any of what we share right now can reflect or is something that you all want to incorporate in anything that you all do. Are we ready? Yeah? So we have the MVP presentation. If I can ask you to go to so this is it. And I'm really glad that IACHE has taken it up across different states and 200 plus colleges, and I hope it will continue to grow. Why? Yeah, let's go to the first slide. Why is an MVP important? Can I have a show of hands here? How many of you have attended an MDP in the last 1 year? How many of you have attended an MDP in the last 1 month? How many of us have attended MDPs during the pandemic? Okay, let's go to 2 years. How many of us have attended an MDP, not FDP, Management Development Program? Very good. That's great. My dear friends, we need to attend an MDP every month because that is the gap in our education system at the moment. And I will tell you exactly, without any flout, where are we lacking? And where can we join hands and where can we look at solutions? So as you know, the management is a fiber of an institution. And only when we look at great student outcomes, so that students have education for life, it starts with the management having outcomes as well. It is a skill which is obtained through training and experience. And that is why I would suggest, let us keep ourselves abreast on different aspects of the education field, even if it is for 5 minutes in a month. But let us do it together. And the smooth administration of any education system is a key to growth and development. How many of you agree with this? Please raise your hands. Very good. So I guess we are all on the same page then. Yeah. So can I use this? Yeah. Thank you. So why is an MVP a must in today's time? It's time for us to think differently, new vistas of administration. We need to keep ourselves alert on new avenues, new ventures, new opportunities, new spheres. Because every single day, there are so many government schemes providing scholarship, grants, educational opportunities around the world. And my dear friends, ask yourselves, is your university or college utilizing this? I have visited quite a few colleges in the last few months, and I'm so sorry to say, all of them complain lack of funding. Have you heard that? Does it sound familiar? Lack of funding. And all I do is ask them, have you approached the government or have you approached these associations who are providing scholarships, who are providing twinning programs, who are providing exchange facilities even now, even during the time of the pandemic? And I don't get a response. And I think that is where we need to introspect into ourselves and say, are we doing our homework first? We expect our students, right? But are we educators doing our homework? If I have to ask any of you, are any of your students currently on a twinning program? Don't tell me there are no opportunities. There are. Creativity, novelty, newness. It's time for us to read the signs of our times and act accordingly. And yesterday's answers for tomorrow's problem is definitely not the solution. These are some of the top areas of development that we can look at together. Quality, a research culture, creative outlook. When we say research, researchers need not be only from the corporate world. Researchers can be from our noted educationists who support the corporate world. How many of your teachers, faculty, students are involved in company research with funding and grants from the governments of different countries? We need to prepare our scholars to be creative and get themselves involved in a vibrant society. And it is time for us to step up and identify these problems. I want to quickly take your attention to King's College, London. And they have a very clear strategy that they are still following, which says King's graduates are distinguished not just by their knowledge, but by their wisdom, character, service, ethic, and global mindset. Our world is not about academics only. Character formation. You know, the kids, the children of today's day and age, respect for their parents, respect for their grandparents. I would never pass a hallway without greeting my teacher. Ask yourselves, do our children do that? Till today, when I see a principal entering, I stand up to say hello. Why? And I think that should be a test of our character. No tolerance, obedience, because that takes us leaps and bounds forward. Harvard Medical School, I happened to speak to the dean there, and he was telling me that they have a long-term vision of 2050, yet they still revive and revise the mission with their key leadership, literally on a monthly basis in a time of a pandemic. All of a sudden, again, international travel is banned. Have you got together and done something about it? Have you decided how are you going to attract students from South countries and different parts of the world to your college? Have you revised your rates of education fees? Have you given them a concession? Have you started with online courses for prospective international students who want to join your college? Have you? They meet once a month and revise it. This is the Liverpool University who talks about the vision to be connected, global university at the forefront of knowledge leadership. Do you really feel that they need connections? Do you feel that they need to change? They're one of the best. But yet, their vision, their strategy talks about global reach as central to the distinctive vision of the future. How many of us have prioritized global reach in our strategy? If not, isn't it time for us to sit across the table with our leadership and revive that strategy? I'm working with quite a few colleges at the moment, advising them, working on revising their strategies. And it is beautiful because all of a sudden they introspect and all of a sudden they see everything aligned with the new strategy, which talks about openness and transparency of communication and their offerings. Our plan will lead to transformation as we seek to build on our existing strengths and those aspects of our university that are truly unique. Well, this is just for you to know. I'm not going to read it, but it's just for you to know what are some of the strengths and how they can set themselves apart. We call it USP in the corporate world, unique selling proposition. Have you all identified your USPs? Do you have it outlined? Is it only you as a vice chancellor or principal who knows your USPs? I believe it should be all the staff, everyone together. May I now request you to kindly write down 3 USPs of the institution you are currently in, managing, or leading. Would you all like a piece of paper? Yeah? Okay. If you could all quickly write down. I could give you hints from here. Engagement, going back to the culture, global reach, international research, education partnerships, academic programs, highly employable graduates, innovative curriculum, Are you aligned with the UN Sustainability Development Goals? Goal number 4 is all on the education front. I would like to now move forward to priorities. Based on your strengths, the 3 strengths or the 5 strengths that you have identified, can you please select 3 priorities of what you would like to do? For example, Liverpool talks about global knowledge leadership. They want to take a step forward and say, we are going to be noted in this specific field. Would your college like to be known in a specific field of interest? Graduate prospects. I went to a college which was newly started, and they wanted their undergraduate students to have an internship. When I spoke to the director, he said, we have absolutely no industry connects because more than 80% of our students come from the underprivileged sections of society. Can you help us? And I said, I will help you only if it's going to be 100% internship rate. Definitely not 20. In less than a month, we crossed the barrier, the boundaries. We had more jobs and the students could choose what they wanted. And the college was rated in India today for bringing about positive change. How much did we spend on it? How much did the college spend on it? Absolutely nothing. How did they do it? To the power of collaborations, partnerships. Before we move forward to the next slide, I want to ask you all, why do you feel that this should be urgent? All of a sudden, St. Aloysius College is talking about internationalization. Why? They have 40 MOUs already signed and more following. Why? Does the college really need it? But yes, it is time because the scholars, the students that we have need to be ready a must for the outside world. And we cannot lag behind. Our faculty need to be ready. Our principals, the leadership need to be ready. Interacting with global universities and colleges, signing MOUs and partnerships. The aims of education, let us not forget it. Academic excellence, character building, social concern, and change. And when we talk about change, this is not just based on the curriculum. We talk about academics. It is religious understanding and appreciation of different religions, cultures, traditions, economic, social, political. We talk about, mindfulness, how we need to be awake and understand what change means. And this is the education that we need to focus on. I want to go back again to UNESCO and the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 4. And you will, I think, be surprised that the GDP, which is the total public expenditure on education, is only going to rise. And what does that mean? What does that translate to India? What does that translate into your colleges? That means more foreign universities and colleges are coming forward to countries like India for partnerships. Reverend Father Praveen spoke about, having things on a platter, and we can't expect to do that, is what he clearly stated. We need to rise to the occasion. We need to be at the forefront. And this is where we need to ensure that the funds that come into the country are secured to Christian and other colleges like ours. Where are we on the list currently? From 1 to 10, where are we on the list? Anyone? Where are we on the list of funding? CSR funding, international funding. I would like an answer, please. Where are we on the list? We are not on the list. So education redesigned is about looking at different activities and how we can integrate education in different ways in our system. We talk about automation. We talk about different types of learning. Finland, for example, is moving towards phenomenon-based learning. What are the different learning methodologies that we are moving? There is personalized, there are different goals, there are experience-based learning, immersion-based learning, documentation, sharing of projects. Where do we fit in? And that is where education moves out from internationalization to universalization. Have you all heard about the recent exploration on Mars? Do you know who went there recently? One of the first women who entered Mars with NASA's Artemis mission. We had the first woman, the first person of color, even on the moon, using innovative technology to explore more of the lunar surface. Have you heard of space tourism? Yeah, coming up soon. Mars mission, lunar mission, space exploration. How many of us have taken time to look at this direction? Education will no more be continent bound, country bound, or even nation bound. We are looking at universalization. Study on Mars, study in the moon. It is something we need to think beyond and afar. And there are so many new colleges coming up focusing on that. The earlier we integrate ourselves to the augmented reality, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and many more, the sooner we will be more prepared. So that's about strategizing the future on the internationalization. But we need to start with a diagnostic test and identify where are our strengths in internationalization and where are our weaknesses. And my dear friend, the next few slides are important because I would like to request you to make a note of what are some of the initiatives that you feel you could incorporate in your college. But before that, a quick question. Why have you come for today's conference? Why is it important for you? If you have come here today and gathered here at the St. Aloysius College during a situation when people are still confined to their homes, this topic should have been of interest, right? So can you please tell me one word or one sentence of what does internationalization mean to you? Please go ahead. Networking, excellent.
Expand the vision of our learners, create exposure, global exposure.
Expand the vision, excellent. Sorry?
Removing borders.
Removing borders, excellent. Anyone else? Excellent. Out of the box thinking. What else? Excellent. Cultural exchange, thought-provoking. Can we have one more? Insight?
Exploring.
Exploring. Employability, very important. Excellent, and that is why we are here today, because we can collectively make it possible. Strategic goals, let us redefine them. Let us redefine them to decide what is needed. When Indra Nooyi, the former president of PepsiCo, joined the company, being an Indian and a lady, she already had enough to deal with, right? But what was one of the first things she did? She re-strategized the entire company and she introduced health foods, Pepsi and health foods, Frito-Lay chips and health foods. But that's what she did. And this is what we all need to do today. Get on your thinking pads, conduct a workshop, a 3-day workshop, bring in your leadership. I visited a college yesterday. It was amazing. They had a session with the leadership. They had a session with the heads of departments. And then they had a session with the faculty. And in less than 3 days, they put a strategy for a college together. Amazing. And today, all of them, all the 100 faculty members speak the same language. And next week, they're planning to do a similar session for the students so that all of us can work together and collaborate with a similar culture. Whose idea was it? Whose thoughts were it? It was their thoughts, their ideas, their vision. But it was just that they were quiet. And that is where I would again like to take Father Praveen's example, igniting the flame, setting aside. They could have carried on. They were doing well as an education institution. But today now they're leading positive change. And who are following them? Educationists across the country. So either we benchmark ourselves to someone who's doing it, or we lead from the front. What strategic initiatives should be implemented to achieve your educational goals? So once again, let's go to country rankings to see which institutions, are at the top. Can you see India in that list? You know what the good news is? Come on, I've come here to share good news. India will be in that list soon because the flame that is being rekindled by educationists across the country with the NEP, with the state commissions for higher education, with governing bodies sitting together and having these talks in your colleges will make a difference. And very soon, I'm sure we'll be in this room with a matter of pride to see great institutions linking ourselves there. Could it be one amongst us who makes that change? Yes? Why not? Yes? Can I hear you say yes?
Yes.
Yes, I can't. I want that yes with vigor. Can we say yes together? Yes, we will.
Yes.
Yes, we will. So I have also put down, a reference as to why these countries are doing well in their different facets, which I will share with you in due course. University rankings as well. Which colleges takes leads and for what reasons is a matter that we need to study together so that when we know where the rankings matter, we can spend our time and efforts and priority to ensure that we use our time and efforts well. The future of internationalization is articulated institutional commitment through these leadership programs, administrative leadership structure and staffing, curriculum, co-curriculum and learning outcomes, faculty policies and practices, student mobility, collaborations and partnerships. And this is where it's really simple for us to work together and make this possible. I'm not going to go through this because you know the NEP 2020 and the different offices working where we can all tap into and reach out. If you need any help with any of them, please let me know. The government of India Karnataka has also looked at integrated twinning programs to internationalize education. How many of us have availed these? It is time now. Okay? In our own countries. And twinning programs can be faculty exchange programs, they can be student exchange programs, and they can also be international credit transfers. And it is time to re-amend our curriculum to ensure a dual exchange of programs on both facets. I'm not going to this, but it talks about the publications and the research work done in different countries. And unfortunately, India has to come and rise up to the occasion and be here. I've been out of the country for years together, but I have seen great minds in India. The best minds are still in India, and we can work collaboratively. This is also where India is placed when it comes to the origin of international students, where students from China and India accounted to 53% of international students moving out. When we talk about the new education partnerships and the internationalization, we focus on differential internships and placements, outreach programs, webinars, internationalization of education, management, faculty, student, and leadership development programs, corporate tie-ups, and tie-ups with universities. If there is anything in this that you would like to do in your college, please note it down, because we are here to support you collectively, collaboratively, and help your institution grow. As they mentioned earlier, I'm with the European board. So if any of you want to connect with companies across Europe for your business incubation or startup or business innovation cells, please reach out to us, because these companies always are looking out for companies and institutions and people and faculty and research partners to partner with. There was an NEP conclave conducted by the government of Karnataka, the Ministry of Education, and they happened to interview me on differential internships, which is going to be something that is going to be, included in universities and colleges. And these are some of the, companies or the countries that we partner with for internships and placements as well. So it is not just local, it is global connect at the same time. These are some of the dialogues that we have with Invest Karnataka, companies coming into the picture. I hope you know the Nirbhaya Award, the fund of 5,712 crore, out of which over the 5 years, there's been only 3,712 crores that have been utilized. So for all of you running women's programs, women's cells, wherever you need support, women outreach programs, rural development, connectivity with women, please feel free to approach. Internationalization of education has various facets from your internships. It can be local, global, international internships with or without stipend, customized offerings, guest speakers, credit sharing, outreach program, workshops, research papers, placements, and even exploring different territories for leadership collaboration. I'm not going to talk about the NEP right now, because I'm sure all of us are well versed with it. Yeah. This is the new education policy where, I had a chance to interview about 50 educationists from all around the globe, and they did share the insights. And it was great of the Honorable Minister of Education, to also comment on the top of the book, which says, evolving the current education standards has now become increasingly important in India. This is a must-read book for all educators in the country. I would suggest whenever you're free, we have Dr. Kasturi Rangan, the Education Minister, many other policy and planners from all around the world who have been interviewed in this publication. Please do have a look at it. This is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, where we are working very closely. If all of you would like to integrate it into your system at the moment, let me tell you, this is the right time. I'm also with the Bangalore Chamber of Commerce. So if you're looking at any kind of partnerships, collaborations, connectivity, and the CII, please go ahead. So this is something we did at the St. Joseph's Institute of Management with the Danish Embassy for World Water Day. We're looking forward to research and collaboration methods. That's with the London Business Council to look at diverse projects in UK and India, if any of you are looking at collaborating. Remember, I told you about the college for 100% internships. This is the college, St. Francis College. And we were also featured in India Today for having 100% internship rate from the first year of operations and commencement of the college for all the students. We work closely with women entrepreneurs as well, and these entrepreneurial startups also engage with more people in the community. Industry Institute interface, inviting all these colleges and operators to your college and then look at partnering with them. Education redesign is with CII, and we did involve St. Joseph's and many other colleges from Malaysia, and RV College of Engineering and Chaman Bharatiya and many others to join us, including Mount Carmel and Bangalore University. This is a literature festival that we held to bring authors from different parts of the world to Karnataka, and also inviting thought leaders like Dr. Shashi Tharoor and many others to join us. I'm not going to go through these slides, but with Veer Sangvi, Kabir Bedi, and I think this is the kind of thought leadership and partnerships that you should be a part of. This is with Al Ghurair University, looking at collaboration at the same time. Government relations is also important for us to keep a close tie and work hand in hand with them. I would also draw your attention to collaboration with other colleges in India and across India to look at your strengths and where they can define their strengths. Before I conclude this presentation, I would like to all get you involved in a quick workshop of a few minutes. Yes, are we ready for that? Yeah, but before this, may I request, we have with us CA Valerian Dalmeda, who is also the founder and mentor of News Karnataka. If we can put him on the slide, please. He has joined us, and if we can request him to address all of us on this occasion.
Hello.
Mr. Valerian, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear Sameera.
Great. So we have Mr. Valerian Dalmeda, CA Valerian, who is joining us all the way from Abu Dhabi. And thank you for being with us today. He is also the founder and the mentor at News Karnataka, which goes over live telecasting to 60 countries around the globe. Over to you, Mr. Valerian.
Thank you, Sameera, and distinguished guests at the dais, and all those who are participating in this conference. I'm sorry that being a Friday in UAE, the government has changed the working days from Sunday to Thursday. They have changed it from Monday to Friday. So this is the reason we are working on Fridays over here. And sorry that I had to go out of the session in the morning. And thank you for accommodating me and inviting me for this conference and to speak a few words. We used a word to motivate others, measure attitude and behavior, to put behind failure and look beyond. And the word was extensively used to make life meaningful. Yes, today I'm talking about the word positive. Since 2020, no one wants to hear the word positive anymore, since COVID-19 has changed the entire meaning of it. When someone says, I'm positive, the entire thought process changes. However, we at News Karnataka, since 10 years, are positive. Positive in news dissemination, positive in our approach to highlight the news and views of the people, positive in creating sensitivity instead of sensational news, and positive to uphold truth endures. We've covered the life of people during COVID, especially Kannadigas around the world, through our live shows, Living with Corona, Amazing People, Amazing Talents, Village TV, Sagaruttara Kannadigaru, Vachanamantapa Vedike, International Kannadiga Federation, Subalterns, and reached to 60 countries and 167 Kannada organizations overseas and lakhs of people through our positive news. We highlighted the problems and plight of NRI Kannadigas during COVID and proposed solutions to the government of Karnataka to appoint vice chairman to Karnataka Non-Resident Indians Forum. Today, we reached to 7 crore viewers in a year through all our products, www.newskarnataka.com, www.newskannada.com, Karnataka Today English Magazine, NK Live, our YouTube channel, and through social media. We gave our platforms to voiceless people across the globe and people of Karnataka through various programs. Like this mission made us to win the prestigious All India Chanakya Award in 2021 for Media House of the Year, which earlier received by Times of India and Orissa Patrika, to name a few. Our group editor was awarded Karnataka Yuvaratna in 2021. Today, our portals with positive and sensitive news, live shows of values like Namaste Teacher and Sunday Celebrity are most popular and reach to larger audience across the globe. We are very happy to associate with All India Association for Christian Higher Education, AIACHE, and St. Aloysius College, Autonomous, Mangalore, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, in this 3 days program. Fortunately, I am an alumni of St. Aloysius, passed out my BCom degree in the centenary year 1980. And I have that deep-rooted relationship with my alma mater. Our request to all the principals gathered here, come to our portals through the hyperlink pages and run a media house for your institution and reach millions of our viewers across the globe and increase the horizon for your prestigious institutions. Only through education, we can imbibe values and knowledge in our young minds and make them better citizens of India and the world. We are happy to say that already we are connected with all the institutions under St. Aloysius College, Mangalore, and thanks to Reverend Dr. Father the current principal for his support, Dr. Praveen Martis for his support, and all the principals of Aloysius College institutions for their support. And also we are connected. We are happy to say that already we are connected with all the institutions under St. Aloysius College, Mangalore, Loyola Degree College, Bangalore, St. Joseph's College, Autonomous, Bangalore, who are going to be connected with us very soon, and several other colleges. Our ambassador and one of the advisors, Ms. Sameera Fernandes, can be reached at any time, and our directors, Kenut Pinto and Brian Fernandes, who are stationed at Mangalore, will be available all the time, including me, to support each of the institutions under AIACHE. Thank you very much once again for giving me this opportunity to speak to you and give information of News Karnataka, which can be fully associated with AIACHE for all their programs, wherever they are conducted across India. And we will be there to support as media partner always. Thank you.
Valerian, very much an ambassador, a mentor, a guide, founder of News Karnataka. Well, before we move on, I would now like to ask you for 3 priorities when it comes to internationalization of education. You've heard the talk. What are 3 areas that you would like to take forward? And then we will group you based on 1 area each. Can we have, can you please list down some of the areas of relevance? Yeah, please let me know, and then we can have this grouping session. Are you focusing on twinning or curriculum or getting a strategy in place? So can we have a show of hands? How many of you would like to have a workshop or revisit your strategy with your leadership, the management, the faculty, and then communicate it to your students? How many of you here? Great. So can we request all those who said a strategy, can you please move to my extreme right? We're just going to have a quick group session now. Yeah. So just if you can all follow Mr. Roshan. Yeah. Can we go to the second topic, which is collaborating for internships and placements? Any of you interested in global internships and placements? Please join Father Praveen here right in front. And we will have one last group. All those who are seated, is there anything specific you would like us to focus on? Research, excellent. So we have Sister Dorothy. All those can join Sister Dorothy there in her group. So we have 3 groups. Yeah. So group number 1 is on my right, which is into strategy. Group number 2 is into international placements and internships. And group number 3 is with Sister Dorothy on research. Okay, so sister, if you could join any of these groups. Let's stick to 2 groups. Yeah? So are you ready for the first exercise? It's just a 5-minute exercise. Yeah? So first of all, you need to appoint a leader in your group who can communicate and tell us key points. Can we have one person? Yeah? Are you ready here? Okay. Group number 1, are you ready? With your representative who will come here and present? Yes. Okay. So please write down very quickly, what is your top priority when it comes to your field? Why? I want to know, why have you selected that this is a priority for you when it comes to internationalization efforts? List down 3 important areas. I repeat the question. This area is a priority to me because 1, 2, 3. Please write those 3 points. We want
a bit of clarification regarding the strategy.
Yes.
Are we speaking about the vision, mission, goals of an institution? Or, I don't know, any other strategy? Specific.
Exactly. So, for example, is global outreach one of your priorities? If yes, then you put that and say, because we do not have partnerships and collaborations, global outreach, or utilizing the government interface as priorities, we are now going to include them. I hope you all are clear with your areas.
Shall identify the areas.
So why are they important? What are your benefits? 1, 2, and 3.
Why?
Is it a revenue generation? Is it a way to connect with other colleges or other, institutions around the globe.
Yeah, one is global strategy. Then we shall complete employment. Exposure. How global is that employment? Our students get some of our global exposure, but placement, right?
They're capable, but they're not.
They're capable. Now,
Then what are the sources?
yeah, now we need to identify what is lacking, what we are looking for.
Higher education institutions are connected. It's easy for them. And what you see is like Erasmus and other institutions are connected. It is cheaper for them. It's much more cheaper for those institutions when they
And they can also explore scholarships from the institution. They are doing abroad.
Otherwise, again, we put
Correct. Then that can be exchange program. For example, I understand it right. We might not have the best of. So we collaborate. And we try to understand. That is good. That is
support
yes.
Okay, maybe we want to teaching or can we have the guest faculty from other universities achieve our faculty members? That's what students also need.
student exchange.
And then when we talk about global outreach.
I'm done. Can we move on to the second question? There are 5 parts, so we need to hurry up a bit. Can we go to the second? Let's all look at the slide, please. May I have your attention to the slide? There are different avenues for partnerships and collaborations to take internationalization forward. Can you please select any 3 from the ones in the block here and decide which, according to you, this is an individual exercise on your paper, please, which, according to you, is important in your college, and then the team leader will group it. For example, the team leader will say, differential outreach programs, it's important to 5 colleges here. So can you group it? Yeah, so let's start on this. Exercise number 2. Yeah. Individually select 3. Top 3 which are important for you.
Then you will have to select 3.
This is an individual exercise.
Individual. Then we should.
Then the team leader will group it. There is a reason for that. Yeah. "30 seconds more for you all to write down your individual priorities in your institution." May I now request the team leader kindly group according to order of priorities. Please group them for your team.
How many of you have? How many of us have? This is the first one. Differential, relationships, and placements. Three copies. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copies. 9 copies. 9. The second one is outreach program. Outreach program. How many? I have 5 of us. Education. Internationalization of education. How many of us? Global happiness. I thought so. Then 4. Internationalization of it. Next one is management and faculty development. So there, I think. I was thinking that night. How many of us? How many? Yeah, they are connected. It's okay. Okay. Now, how many of us have selected internationalization? The last 3 of us. 4. Management and MDP and FDP. MDP.
30 seconds more.
How many? 5. Me. 1, 2, 3, 6. Corporate tie-ups. Yes. No, that is a need. Because CSR funds. Corporate tie-ups. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Shall we end this part of the exercise and move on? Tie-ups with universities and colleges.
Yes.
Are you done?
Yes.
We go to the third question. Can you please decide what are some of the programs based on today's workshop that you feel your faculty requires? I would request each one of you to share one area to the team leader so that they can note it down. My question is, one kind of an area of development that your faculty requires. Let me give you examples. Today, you all have heard about internationalization of education. Can you ask yourselves, would most of your faculty understand what it means? Tomorrow, if you tell them as the principal, we are going to focus on internationalization of education. Ask yourself, do you know what they would understand in terms of what it really means? Is that clear communication? So that could be one area. The other one, internships and placements. Tomorrow, if you tell your teachers, your faculty, the strategy of our new college is centered around employability. Let us have internships and placements. Do you honestly feel your teachers will say, yes, of course, father. Yes, of course, sister. Let us go ahead and do it. And I will be part of the process. Sorry?
These teams, the teachers, among these topics.
Yes.
Are different.
No, my
We
question.
have to choose.
No, you have to choose. From your college, what are the issues you are currently facing? Yeah, we are going to address what your college is facing. What are the top 3 areas for faculty development? 3 areas for faculty development. But your 3 areas are not based on your own thinking. It is based on the workshop that you have seen here. For example, you tell them of a corporate tie-up. You can't do it alone, right? Tomorrow, when the students are sent to Toyota, they need to go with a proper mindset of learning. Not if Toyota general manager says, I'm going to take 10 students from Mount Carmel, send them from 10 to 5. You are excited. My God, Toyota, MNC, they'll get a chance to go to Japan and meet the board. But students, 10, 11 o'clock till 12 o'clock, we have not gone to the office. My friends, it has happened. Directors, principals, super excited. Collaboration, join hands, media. Where are the children? Who's in charge of the children? Who's in charge of your students? The class teacher, the HOD, the person in charge of placements. No communication. Is that an issue? Where is the issue? Is it the children? Or is it the faculty who are in charge of the class teachers telling the children, telling the students, you have been selected from the class. You need to represent and go there, and you will benefit. Are your faculty competent to understand what that means? Or is it only about you going and signing the MOUs with 100 different companies? That is reality. We are talking about internships here, global internships. I will tell you right now, we have IKEA, which has come to Bangalore. They want students, but they want committed students. How do you give them committed students? Through an MOU, through a contract, through the culture, through training your teachers. And if you feel you cannot give them committed students, that is an issue, that is a problem, please write it down. So once again, I go back to the question. This is deep-rooted thinking about realities, about internationalization. So please write down 3 areas where your faculty need development. Based on today's workshop.
What do we think? Which area?
All of you can tell one area to the team leader. I think that would be
What is the training? Is it training? Is training? All these things, what she said. They temper to build up the base temperament to say yes.
Ecosystem has to be developed
In the beginning,
in every
because
course.
it is always
Initially, the faculty is
the
trained,
last,
or at least is told what is expected of them. They are trained to train the students. So what is all these ethics?
preparing the proper mindset. Shall we go for it?
What is the specific training to the teachers? Is the question. Is it communication?
All the staff. Online webinars. Teachers themselves the areas where I feel training is required now. So one question. The training which are the area, I would say startups and all. College like startups. Somehow we are putting placement, we are doing very well. Now, when I ask the students, can you develop something new students here? The mind doesn't work. Preparing the student to get ranks. In the training, teachers understand why it is important now. Training jobs, life, influential internships. What exactly what is mean by that? How they can go for it. The teachers are trained on these areas. They would definitely help the students
create an ecosystem in the college from top to the bottom. Based on this area. So we need to train that. Career development.
I would suggest each one of you please contribute an idea from your perspective to the team leader. We look at business incubation. How many teachers know of business incubation?
Focused on that.
I think basically. Research other Japanese students. So simultaneously, ideate the different ideas, make it those kids to reach us for production. Something or the other, involved in this innovation. What is the role of the teachers? They should be mentors. That's why it does us. The more very sure the ideologists and the what will happen? What is the outcome? You don't know the teachers of 2-3 years and they go away.
Special situation, she's NEP, things are changing. The answers are not certain, and university itself is not certain. So even the subject matter is held up, like syllabuses are not properly set. So we are all in the confusion.
Can we move on to the next question?
Not only theoretical aspects, also about the corporate world. What exactly is happening around here? That corporate world from here to the classroom. There should be some interactions. Corporate world. Teachers must be. I think teachers must be even start.
Can we move on to the last question?
Whatever other skills.
Can we move on? Yeah.
Teachers are the knowledge.
Can we move on to the last question? What does partnerships and collaborations mean to you? Partnerships and collaborations in the wake of internationalization. Who would you like to partner with? If all of you could share one area to the team leader. Partnerships and collaborations in the wake of internationalization. Who would you like to partner with?
Corporate sector.
Education, industry.
Then international important. National international. Partnership with the government.
Tap on all the available.
Jobs also.
Yeah, leading institution.
Have you all given your points to the team leader? Yes? Okay, so with that, we come to an end. Can we request the team leaders to quickly present their views? Yeah? So shall we start with this team? Who's the team leader?
Dr. Rio.
Dr. Rio, if I can, yeah, if you would like that on the mic. May I request all of you to please align your, yeah, so, if you don't mind, we just want to wrap up the session a bit quickly.
We'll see.
Thank you for your support. Thank you. I appreciate it. Feel comfortable to sit anyway, but let's just look at the speaker. Please sit. Please sit.
We had a very dynamic team and a good discussion. And to the first question about which are those areas which are our priorities. Among us, the overwhelming support was for differential internships and placements. Anyhow, the theme of our group also was that we had come together to discuss on that. Naturally, that was one of the priorities we felt, one area which we as institutions need to look into. So 8 of us voted for that. Whereas management development programs and faculty development programs, that came as the second one, which many of us supported. The 6 institutions were supporting that idea. And then the third place among the priorities came to 2 different topics, which had equal number of votes, 5 votes as such. One was tie-ups with universities and colleges, local or global, and the other one was corporate tie-ups. Both are tie-ups, of course, whether it's with corporates or with universities and colleges. And sometimes nowadays, if you see the way some universities and colleges work, they are working a corporate way style itself. So I would say it's tie-ups, which was very important, the third priority as such. The other, topics did not receive that much support, but they were there in order of support. I would say the next one was global webinars, outreach programs was also there. Internationalization of education, did not come in anybody's priority list as such. I think that remains as an overarching topic as such. People were looking at specifics here. Moving on to the next question that we were asked to look at, that is, what were the themes, the programs for faculty that one could have in your institution? Many ideas came up. One of the ideas which received a lot of support was to have differential internship, to understand what that means, have mentorship for career development for to students, and also to train faculty on nurturing entrepreneurship. That was one of the themes. Networking with industry was one thing which I had written in our institution. I felt that was important. Then the other thing was that faculty need to be trained on how to train students or how to make them understand the importance of communicative skills in a global perspective as such, especially some of the modern skills that are there. Say, for example, if you see social networking and such, social media, such things. And then innovation, how to nurture innovation, how to bring in innovation into the institution, to train faculty on that. Modern tools for or modern methodologies for scientific research, that was one more theme. And then faculty exchange was felt that faculty exchange was important. That is, faculty from different institutions could meet and exchange ideas as such. Having how to establish relationships with the corporates. And the other last thing that which we thought was important for faculty was motivating them, especially nurturing leadership among faculty. These were some of the things that we thought we could select for programs for faculty. On the last question, that is for partnerships and collaborations, we felt that most of the partners we were in the group, we felt that partnering with the industry was important. And then next would be reputed institutions, research institutions of national importance, networking with them would be an important goal. And then also one cannot leave aside interfacing with the government, networking or establishing a good relationship with government agencies, because there's a lot of funding with the government, and then one needs to take the support of that. One can't leave out that. So this was about partnerships and collaboration that that would be where our preferences would be. So this was the discussion from our group. Thank you very much.
We have representative from the next group, please.
Dr. Vincent.
Dr. Vincent Alba.
Good morning. It was a wonderful exercise, especially for the principals. For the past 5 years, I've been the principal of an institution. And after this very small, very brief strategic exercise, what I felt is the principals need to be trained first. Because one of the points that Father Alvin said, whatever we communicate to the other side, they fail to understand. And if they fail to understand, the principal has not been able to make them understand. If this side of the board is ready and crystal clear about what is being communicated, then understanding also is not a problem. So coming to all these, all the 4 questions, basic need is to train. Whom to train? That is next question. But training is required from top to bottom. Maybe starting from the management, then coming down to immediately responsible for the administration and the faculty members and the students. So we need employment. Employment, for the first question, employment was the basic idea that we had, and around it we structured our discussion. And to create employment there, more than preparing the students, we need to prepare the teacher, because stop me if I'm going out of the way to discuss this. We are still sticking to the traditional type of education. We teachers are scared to go outside the syllabus to speak. Scared because I am not prepared to speak. I know the global challenges. I know the global challenges. Even though I know the global challenges, I do not want to lay my fingers on those challenges, because I feel that I may get my fingers burnt. So the teacher should be trained. Teachers in the sense, everybody comes there. Management, the principal and teachers should be prepared and trained effectively. And they should be sensitized with the needs, the global needs of the employment scenario. Then teachers will have to undergo the FBPs. Okay, and we need to, as Sir said, exchange programs. Exchange programs, I told Father Praveen, coming to Aloysius means it is a great experience for me. But if I don't know, but while going back, I pick up something or the other from this college and go without the knowledge, without the permission of the head. That is why I come here. And that itself is an exchange program for me. I keep my eyes open, I keep my ears open, I look at the strategies, and as soon as I came, we have a hall, and I said, yes, why not? I have everything in that hall, but it is not framed this way. Why can't I? So this is one of the things, which can help with these exchange programs. And academically, we need to amass strength. Academically, if the teachers are strong, rest of the things, flow automatically. Teachers will have to be academically strong. then everything will have its own place and in a smooth way. And next, Sameera asked us to give priorities to the 7 ideas that you floated. And we were 9 there, nine representatives from 9 colleges. 3 of us voted for differential internships and placements. But we felt that all the things are important because you asked us to select only 3, we selected only 3. But some of the heads got more votes there. Outreach programs, 5 of us voted for it. Global webinars, we said yes, but we did not list it. Internationalization of education, 4 of us. MDP and FDP, 6 of us. Corporate tie-ups, 6 of us. And tie-ups with universities and colleges, 6 of us. But all these things are very, very necessary for the it's a question of existence now. As Father Praveen said in his presidential address, it's a question of existence, especially for the Catholic colleges, Christian colleges. And to exist now, we know, our principal and teachers also know, knows it very well, because he had, as a Amuk president, he had fought with the bigger, the UGC funds. They don't have funds at all. And other day when I read in the paper, in the news, that Aloysius College, the golden batch, donated 1 crore 60 lakhs. My God! I mean, for this one, I was stunned. This is the support we need to get. And if not in my college, somebody gave 1,60,000 rupees. Okay, that is the support that we need to get, and this is what we need to. Have this. Otherwise, there is no. Existence for us. It's from the 12th plan till now. Where are the funds? Zero funding. We are running the institution with 0 funds. The colleges, I know, it's difficult, but the colleges with a huge number, they survive. But we will have to find difficult anyway. And then, third question, again, it is overlapping. What we need to do, the faculty members. We need to strengthen the faculty members. That was the direct question that we asked. So, preparing a proper mindset. I said it in the beginning itself. If the teachers don't understand, the entire strategy fails because they keeping quiet also is okay. But if you go and communicate it wrongly to the students, the entire strategy fails there. So before sending the teachers into the flock, you need to prepare the students why exactly they go into the flock and to prepare what is the strategy. So preparing a proper and broader mindset. Then, as Alvin said, I repeat again, managerial communication, which is very important. Managerial communication in the sense, management, if it is proactive, it will have one vision. But how it has been communicated to the principal? How does the principal communicate it to the teachers? Because it passes on from several hands and several minds, right? And every mind, every brain is different, to understand, yes. So we need to be skilled to communicate it in the right way. If at all, we need to get the proper, conclusion, proper fruit. Then competency building, training the teachers. And the fourth one, the partnerships and collaborations are very, very important. Collaborate with the corporate, the MNCs, universities, NGOs, okay, and international NGOs. And I feel we didn't get time there. I'm sorry. I'm adding now. Collaborating with the alumni. Because if the universities, like some of our alumni, they are there, the part of Oxford and Harvard. They say Harvard University runs and the funds are overflowing because of the contribution of the alumni. Okay, and they don't look for any other financial support. Only alumni. And if at all, this is my experience. Whatever we are able to do in a small college like me, it's only because of the support by the alumni. And I collaborate with them. The ideas, some of them come with the ideas, some of them come with the funds, some of them come with the strategies. Anyway, it is okay, material or some other way. So, partnership with this alumni also is important. So, thanks for this.
I think those were really great insights shared, and it also showed how much attention you have been paying to the MDP. Well, I just wanted you to know that that was a very brief overview of internationalization. There is a lot of in-depth information, resources, everything that we can get into in due course, with different collaborations and workshops, hopefully in all of your colleges. But today's session was just to give you an overview and an insight. I hope that has been put to good use. And I am really humbled to see the wonderful feedback given by the team leaders. It shows that, that itself has shown how the mindset has been further evolved, developing innovative ideas, creative thinking. So congratulations to all of you. I'm going to give you a big round of applause to start with. You all have been overly attentive and great collaborators of the session. We have one in the afternoon for the faculty. And that is also about creating mindsets, not from a strategic perspective, but more from a tactical perspective. For all of you who would like to tune in, please do so. It is really an enriching session. I would request you all, please request at least few staff from each college so that we can sow seeds of a better tomorrow for all of us. Father Praveen Martis, the principal, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. It's been great engaging with the team and look forward to taking your college to greater heights together. Thank you.
We have spent a good amount of time engaging ourselves. I don't know how the time has flown, just like that, by meeting together and learning something this morning. So I would like to especially thank Ms. Sameera Fernandes. She made this whole program possible with our ideas. That's how we began with meeting together. And she enriched all of us this morning. Let's give her a round of applause for that wonderful. Now, quickly, we'll move on to the second part of the session. We are just finishing it. Since we have come along with the AIACHE, I would like a few things, and first of all, to introduce ourselves. As I see, there are 14 institutions coming together here. Father Michael has joined just now, about 1 hour ago. We can just, maybe some of the colleges who don't know. Shall we introduce ourselves quickly? Where we are, who we are, maybe Sameera who don't know. Others may be knowing there, but shall we start from here? 14 institutions are there. I would just, I think one of you listed whether there are 14 institutions. This only the heads of the institutions can first introduce themselves, and then the vice principals have come along with them. They can also introduce.
Mic is not necessary.
I'm Dr. Rio D'Souza, principal of St. Joseph Engineering College from Mangaluru, which is within the Mangaluru city, 8 kilometers from the center. St. Joseph Engineering College was set up in the year 2002. So we are just very soon going to reach our 20th year. Doing well, NAC A+ accredited, and we have become autonomous now. So.
from St. Philomena College, Puttur. We have got 6 UG courses, 6 PG courses. Already A grade, trying for autonomous status. Thank you.
I'm Vincent Bach, Principal of Aloysius College, Kalyanpur. And Alvin Seravo, Principal, St. Anthony College, Naravi.
I'm Melvin Castillo, representing St. Mary's College, Shirwa, and present I'm working as IQAC coordinator for the college.
I'm Dr. Janice Mary, Vice Principal of Kushinaya. This morning, our principal was there, Dr. Julius CJ, and she had written on science.
Dr. Mangaluru Sameera, Principal, CBHS Evening College, Mangaluru. Father is our director.
I'm Vincent D'Souza, Sacred Heart College, Medantha.
Principal of St. Mary's College, Odenchur.
Dr. D'Souza, Principal, St. Anne's College of Education and Asma Premier Teacher Education Institution. Clara, Vice Principal of St. Mary's.
Now, the other vice principals and the IQAC coordinators can introduce themselves. Can introduce.
Sonal Lobo, I'm the IQAC coordinator of St. Aloysius College.
I'm Dr. Rachel Natasha, Assistant IQAC Coordinator, St. Aloysius College.
I'm Dr. Richard Gonsalves, Director of LCRI from St. Aloysius College.
I'm Dr. Norbert Lobo, Director of Biology.
I'm Dr. Lavina Lobo, Director of Pathway Block, PG Social Science, St. Aloysius College.
Dr. Dennis Fernandes, Director of Commerce and Management Block, St. Aloysius College.
Dr. Alvin was there on the stage, all of them know him.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you want to introduce yourself. And the Roshan also was there.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the next point is like, how many of these institutions are registered under IACHE? I see some of them are not registered. I would read out about 10 colleges in this region are only registered under IACHE. One is Aloysius College, Kalyanpur. Sacred Heart College, Madanchar, School of Social Work, Roshinilaya, St. Agnes College, St. Aloysius Evening College, St. Aloysius College, St. Anne's College of Education, St. Mary's College, Shirwa, St. Mary's Syrian College. Today we don't have any representative from there. The St. Philomena's College, Puttur. These are the colleges. About 10 of them are registered. I think 4 colleges which are not there in the list are not registered. Maybe for Dr. Rio's Engineering College, which is not registered, and Raymond's College, which is not registered, and Padua is not come today. They're supposed to come, and Naravi is not registered, and Milagris College is not registered.
There are several others. Catholic Christian.
Christian colleges, nobody has come. That's why I've got a list of about 26 colleges here, including Muller's College of this one, the medical college. They have not come. We have called them. We have sent these messages. Some of them unfortunately couldn't make it. Like Professor Rajan said he would come, he couldn't make it. But these 4 colleges, are you all ready to become members of IACHE? I have sent you the list. I have already given you this proposal. So if you want to become membership for life, it is 25,000. And after that, 5 rupees per student you'll have to pay every year. Okay, that I can request as an executive member to reduce or whatever it is. So far, it has been the custom. So we will talk to them. But these 4 colleges can, I think, go ahead. If they are interested, that would be nice. So So you could join them, and two more colleges were supposed to come today, could not come. The Padua College and the Carmel College. They could also join. They said they would join today. Unfortunately, I think last minute something went wrong and they are not with us today. And those 6 colleges would be Crossland College also is not a member, I think. So they can also be the member. So now my request is to you, the principals, if you know some other colleges, we can also reach out to them in your neighborhood and request them also to join the AIACHE. That is the second point in your own region. I see there are about 26 colleges are there in Mangaluru region, which are also Christian and Catholic colleges. If some of you are Christian, Charles is here, you can help us out to reach out. And after that, at least my plan is once a year, at least minimum, we could meet like this. What do you think? It is minimum once a year. So at least we know in different places. This time we have met at St. Aloysius College. Next time somebody can take initiative and we can meet. More often is better. Once in 6 months is still better to understand and come together and do many activities. That is what I would think that we could do. At this moment, can you give us some suggestions how to move about in the future? My next plan is to go to Mysore region and Bangalore region and North Karnataka region to unite them also. Altogether about 95 to 100 Christian institutions are there in Karnataka. When I went to Kanyakumari, what I saw in Tamil Nadu, there are many colleges which have joined this and they've got a consortium. Anything that happens in the state, they go to the court immediately and they've got several good judgment coming in their favor. The government just cannot touch because all these colleges are together. Here also I would say Catholic and Christian colleges coming together and making a consortium. Karnataka, it is not there at all. Karnataka, we are very weak. Anything that comes up, let's say recently UUCMS, and none of our colleges have come together to fight against this. We are simply surrendering it. Because each individually working, but then find difficulty. If we come together as collective body, we can somehow find good lawyers and get their opinion and do something about it. Tamil Nadu does it, Kerala does it, Andhra to some extent does it, but Karnataka we have not done so far. Yes.
One of the burning issues is giving minority status to them.
Correct. Minority college status to them. 50% is too much actually. When the Congress government was there, they did it. That PUCs it is 25%. For degree colleges, it is 50%. It is impossible to get. Correct.
Takes up
this. Exactly. I think that is
more logical.
Yeah. And see what happens is none of our colleges can do it. The center we get this for perpetuity. And I think most of our colleges have got it from the center. The minority certificate center gives it. State doesn't accept it. At least what happens is, in general, if we get it, we are at least safe from the minority status point of view. We are safe at least. Many of our colleges, we have got it from the center, but state, of course, does not recognize, but nothing like getting it.
Appointments, it doesn't.
Yeah, appointments, no. Yes.
We have to get it from the state. We have to surrender the central one.
Not required. We are not surrendering the central one. Not required. They don't ask us to surrender the central one. The central remains as it is, but then the state gives a separate one. State, but giving this 50% is too much for us. That's one thing. And everything is dependent on that. The funds and the appointments, aided posts. Without that, they don't give us the aided post. That becomes too much. I think we need to fight that out. I'll keep that.
For amendment of this.
Yeah, amendment of this. I think under AIACHE and Xavier Board. See, there is another board called Xavier Board. I don't know how many of you know about it. Xavier Board is only for Catholic institutions. Okay, we can also register under that. Their amount is slightly lower than the AIACHE. Yes, those are not registered. My request also to you to join that body. What happens is if you are in these two bodies, we can go together to the government and fight it out. That becomes easier for us in the future. So maybe both the bodies together, we will work on it. Since I'm in this body, I will find out who is in the other body there. So we can work it out. Idea is to basically increase the database. Database is very important. We are working on that. Mr. Roshan is helping me and we will build it up as early as possible. And after that, several things are possible for us. One is the consortium. Another one is fighting out like this together and going together maybe to the court. When we go together, nobody can individually target us. Otherwise, what happens, St. Aloysius College goes, or St. Joseph's goes, they target only us. Now, if we go as a team, nobody can target an institution else. So they can only target the consortium. the consortium will be stronger. Several kind of these problems can be like NEP when they introduced. We had no voice actually. We surrendered in a way because they implemented all of a sudden to degree colleges. And Karnataka is the first one to introduce. That is where I felt the need and said even in IACHE there was no representative from Karnataka. Then we felt like, we have the burning issues here and we don't have anyone in that body. Then how can we take it forward? That's where I said somebody has to take it forward and we worked on it. We need your support and encouragement to also suggestions how to go about. If you can help us, that would be great. Also to build up our numbers and meeting together. As Sameera said, meeting is, one is of course to see that issues are taken forward. Another one is also to meet together to share what happens to us. The best practices also we come to know, like Dr. Vincent said, coming here, I could also go to another college and learn. It's not like only St. Aloysius College can give, Agnes gives, or Raymond's gives. Any college has their best practices. Like, we go there and learn, spend some time. That is a good occasion for us. Also, as we are united, nobody can just touch us. And that is also another point of view there I'm interested in. Other things also, like each of our institutions could be expert in different areas. When you went in AIACHE, they made 6 or 7 groups and they made leaders all over India. Let's say for NAC, some colleges extremely good. They're getting 3.78, 3.8. How did they achieve it? If Christian colleges, other colleges can learn that, they can also achieve that, isn't it? Slowly we can work on that. Let's say UGC, other programs that are coming up, or funds, maybe the curriculum, various aspects that we can come together and work on it. All those things I think we will do little by little. What I do is immediately create a WhatsApp group of ours. Shall we do that? So the communication becomes faster. So these 14 colleges I will link immediately and all those who are there today. And please help me to also to reach the other institutions if you know them. So we can increase that base and work together as a team and then see any conference or any seminar that happens in an institution, you can put there. So that reaches from there to the principal to the students and the faculty. And everybody gets the benefit of it. The learning happens. Otherwise, you send it to us, it doesn't work. Even for research for that matter. I was thinking like, in this region as Mangaluru region, we can take bigger research programs, like not one institution, 4 or 5 institutions coming together and taking one particular project and writing it to DST, DBT or ICC or whatever body for that matter, or transdisciplinary, whatever, that can be done from the institutions together. The past is gone. That individual colleges, St. Aloysius College, maybe any bigger college or Agnes or whatever, working independently now doesn't work. Because there are bigger forces. It was okay in the past. Now we cannot just become competitors. It is not a healthy thing also in the future. As Christian institutions, I think we need to come together, share the ideas and see that we are moving together. Each of us has our strengths, but then competing or not coming for a program or feeling not good. Let's say civil services, that was floated by the bishops in the past, like 2 years ago. But some institutions, I see even our own institutions, when our people, like we have started civil services here, there is no entry to even to go and talk about it. So we feel bad about it. Because it's a Catholic, like we feel Christians, we have very few UPSC officers, IAS officers, but we have started with difficulty. We're running under deficit, but to help only our Christian students and the people from this region. But that is not getting support, like Dr. Vincent started there. At least 2-3 colleges, let us start, but then it also encourage our students to join these institutions. So what happens, they come and future is ours then. Otherwise, we'll be competing and narrow-minded and so limited to our own ways. Then we don't reach out to others. That's where I think automatically death also happens there. Only when you move out, we see the language, English. It is flourishing because you can add even any word and continuously because the literature professors are here. I could see because I was abroad, I have seen the French language is now slowly not spoken by many. But the control is too high there. They don't allow any new word to be added. Spanish is flourishing. Other new languages will flourish. Latin is almost dead. This one is Sanskrit is gone. They're trying to revive it again. So this is how it happens even to philosophical and our own ways of thinking. That's why my request is if we can reach out, it will be helpful for the society and also for the students and anybody for that matter. Like today we got so many ideas. Now Sameera can be part of our team to guide us and help us to reach even further heights and collaboration. So these are my few thoughts at this moment. We don't have much time. It's 2 o'clock. The faculty members will join us. And tomorrow we have got for the students something similar. So my request once again to you is we have sent these links. We can send it to as many students as possible in your own colleges. They can reach out. Okay, so these 3 programs that we organized, I'm extremely happy that you have come today in spite of all your busy schedule. Like spending half a day to the principals is not an easy thing, but you have come all the way, and this too with a short notice. Just because Sameera called me last Sunday, I was busy and said, Father, shall we work on it? So it was just 1 week idea, and then we pulled it a show like that, but all with your support. If not with your support, we could have done that. So I'm once again grateful to all of you, these 14 institutions, and we'll reach out more. We'll have a photograph now immediately. We'll go to the entrance to the college, and after that, we'll have a good lunch, and then move out to our own institutions. So thank you so much. Any other ideas that you would like to share at this moment, or then we'll make a WhatsApp group and then you can share those ideas. Yes. Good. Thank you.
As you said, for the one thing, I have attended a couple of AIACHE meetings. The entire strength is of Samarians. From Karnataka, the participation is very less. Very less. For one of, as Father said, this time I couldn't go because of some family programs. Otherwise, one or two, only one or two will be there of Karnataka. That's why our strength is very less. And if all of us, if all of us for the next year's general body meeting, if we go, I think Dr. Richard got award. Yes. Go together and have a picnic, as Father said. Even as a picnic coming together, nothing like that. Share a lot. Yes. Good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Entrance of admin block for a
Entrance of admin block for a photograph. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So it's all sold out. I've just ordered the thing, but I'm getting the second edition. I will definitely keep that. Thank you.
No, we will
Whenever I
collab.
can support, I will definitely
She is not a small thing. We collaborate to bring her.
nothing like that here. Nothing. Yes, I'm here.
Recording stopped.
talk about internationalization, and that